So here it is, the ultimate simple trading log. Now, I'm a new trader and I had all these ideas, when I got into it. Oh, I'm going to take this super seriously. I'm not going to use this amount of capital and I'm going to have a trading plan for everything. But the truth of it is, as you can actually see from this spreadsheet, I haven't had a trading plan for every one of my trades. I haven't calculated my risk reward. And the spreadsheets that I had been doing were just too big. I hope that you like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel, and in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are, and it would be super great to hear from you. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to label each of these columns. Let's start in the risk reward calculator section. What you want to do is go into cell A1 and then go over to D1, hit the shift. You want to highlight all of those cells. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to title. And what this allows you to do is create your title. And formatting wise, I tend to like for titles, let's see if this works. Yeah, typewriter. I like to bold it and I like it in black. So there we go. After you have the risk reward entered, you can highlight here and choose any color that you would like. I think it's nice just to have this one section kind of sectioned off color wise. Gives it a little bit of a difference, from what area is what. So label each column, and let's just say date is important to you. You can always insert a column and add the date. I just added shares and share price, which is not going to be in my trading log. But some people might want to have the dates, the number of shares, the share price. I have to say, definitely do what you feel is best, but I have just down here so you can actually see what I've been doing in December. So I entered these in, and if you're doing a lot of trades, it is a lot of information to enter. It might not seem like a lot, but it is. It just means that you're going to do a lot more work and a lot more entry in Excel. And for me, that I had already spent, this is like my 5th spreadsheet. So I feel like I've learned from just things that were driving me crazy before. Those things might not drive you crazy, but they really drove me crazy. I wanted something nice, clean, and simple, and I wanted something that Charles Schwab wasn't telling me. And I wanted the risk reward calculator. Woohoo! So there's ways that you can tweak this to your own needs. But the formulas that I'm going to be giving are just essentially for what I have here. So this is really important. You want to highlight row 1, and then you're going to go to view. And what you want to do is freeze the top row. And what this allows you to do essentially is, like, when you're entering your information, it allows you to, to see, and as you scroll down, what's there. Whereas the nightmare first spreadsheet that I had done didn't have that. It was ridiculous until I learned how to do that. So like this is what it would look like if you unfreeze. You're like, okay, what am I entering in here? So we want to freeze the top row. And just a side note, if you noticed, I haven't figured out a way to freeze this little area here as well. So what I've done is I've just copied and pasted my risk reward calculator. So as I get down further in the month, I have that formula right there. So, okay. So now that we have our panes frozen, we've got that top row frozen so we can see all this information. Let's do our risk reward calculator. And I'm just so happy to have this. Even though the math is really simple, I just wasn't doing it. And I'm hoping that having it right here for me, it's going to help me develop some of those good habits and know exactly what I'm getting into risk reward wise before I enter a trade. And it's really simple. So in A3, risk, A4, enter reward, A6, entry price, A7, stop loss, A8, target price, 10, enter the word ratio. And now what I did here is in C10 was I just did :1. I could not find a way to display this as like an actual ratio. So this is like a little bit of like a cheat. You don't necessarily need it, but visually I find it kind of nice. Now what you need formula-wise for this is in the B3 column, it's going to be equals B6, and so you go down to B6 minus B7. Bam, and then hit enter. And then for reward, it's going to be equals B8 minus B6. So there we go. And then to calculate your ratio, it's going to be equals B4 divided by B3, and then hit enter. And then voila, there you have it. Now that we've got the risk reward calculator done, let's move over to the next section. Down underneath the totals and averages, I am going to include win rate. That is something that Charles Schwab is not offering me on my statements and my breakdowns. And that for a trader is very important to know. And I'm going to delete my information here. We're going to go through this so I can show you the formulas of how, and some shortcuts that you can use when you're entering in this information. So once you have entered your trades, what the buy totals were for each trade and what you sold them for. Now I calculate this here, this 27 number by hand. So I'll just scroll through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth and count that by hand. The total trades are needed to calculate your win rate. So assuming you have your information entered here, the easiest way to get your totals is to highlight the cell where you're going to want your numbers totaled and go up to the auto sum. And when it goes sideways, you can just highlight, no, I actually want it up here, and scroll up and make sure you capture everything. This is a very easy mistake to make in Excel. And once you've got all of your information highlighted, it closes the bracket for you, and then you just hit enter. We're going to do the same here. Now, to figure out the profit, what we're going to do is we are going to go equals. We're going to take our sell total minus the buy total and hit enter. And what's great about Excel is we've got this little shortcut here. You can double click on this little box in the corner here, and it will fill in all of those numbers for you. And then we're going to auto sum this row or column. And see, it's doing that thing again, and no, we want this. See, I almost missed that number, but So there we go. Now for the loss, I do this manually. So I'm basically gonna cut this number out of this profit area and put it in the loss section. And what's nice about it is that if you have a chunk of numbers that come together, you can group them together. I'll show you in a second here, like these three right here. So we can highlight and shift and then, oops. Cut, paste. Ooh, that's a lot of losses. Cut and paste. cut and paste. Okay, does that look correct? It does. So let's total up my losses. The formula for your profit percent, you're going to go equals, you're going to do a parentheses, you're going to take your sell total minus your buy total, and then you're going to divide it by your buy total. And there we go. And the same way that we did the profit and loss formula, we're just going to double click there. And let's auto sum this. There we go. And then this is the last area that I do by hand. It is a little bit extra work. Figure out what your win rate is, which as a trader is very important to know. Let's add these up. Sometimes you'll get these little boxes here in the corner. Let you make Excel happy here. I know this box is inconsistent formula, but I used auto sum here, so I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll try manually entering it. Let's just go equals sum. Close the bracket. Well, that got rid of the little warning, so we're just going to leave it like that. Now let's take a look at our averages. So what is our average profit? And this is the same formula as sum, but except you're going to put in average, and you're going to do the same highlighting which numbers you want. Make sure you close the bracket if you're doing it by hand. You can also go auto average. And we don't want to average that total because that would make it look like we've had some monster losses. Now, if you notice this profit percent here, depending on where you have your decimal, this is something to keep in mind. If you have your decimal far over to the right, it could look like 0%, which isn't accurate. So you might want to take a look and play around with the decimals to see where it actually is. And as you can see, I mean, it's a small profit, but nonetheless, I did eke out just a little sliver of a profit, which is great. I'm a new trader. At least these first 2 months were not in the red for me. And formatting wise, to get this as a percent, you use these icons here. I don't use the dollar icon. It just, going back to the simplicity, I like just having nothing there. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay. See, and now we've got this funny, this number was fine a minute ago, but now it's not. So this is some of the little things that drive me crazy about Excel, but what can you do? Except for play with it, fix it, and hopefully that'll make Excel happy. Okay, to calculate your win rate, we're going to go equals. You're going to take the number of wins, which in this case I've got 14, divided by the total trades. Right there, 52%. If you are interested in tracking this as well, this is a simple thing that you can do, is you can just highlight the cell for your biggest profit, put that little paint bucket, fill up with that with whatever color you like. And over here, that is my biggest loss. So it's just a little extra something for you to kind of be like, that was, an awesome profit, or that was a great big loss. What did I do wrong there? What did I do right? So there you have it. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this really helps you put together the trading log that you've been looking for with the risk reward calculator. I probably will never do another Excel video again, so please comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you have any recommendations, or if something's working for you that maybe I haven't included here. And happy trading.